Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Happy Saturday. I'm going to preface this by saying this is not about Big Brother. I know nobody's going to listen to that, or the majority won't. And there's still going to be a bunch of Big Brother stuff in the comments. So, at least for the replay crew, if you look at it and you say, why isn't he reading these comments? I'm telling you at the very beginning of this is not, again, about Big Brother. So, if you want to see something that's about Big Brother, I'm sure there's going to be some stuff about the show for me to talk about later in a different live, but this is not for that. And again, I will not be reading any comments relating to that right now. So, before I even get into this, I'm going to say this respectfully and with peace and love. If it doesn't come across that way, well, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that I'm pretty much always respectful to anyone who respects me. I think that that's pretty much just how I operate in life. I can't say I'm always respectful because sometimes when I feel like I'm disrespected, I respond in kind. But generally, I've been on other pages. I've been on plenty of other YouTube pages. And I've seen people get disrespected badly and still come back. So I think that by comparison, that's not me. All right, a few things. I hope I remember all of them because I will have the tendency to to think of things before I get on here, and then I start talking and I forget. One, I try my best to acknowledge everybody when they come on my channel. And I've been doing this for I think about 4 years now. And I know that that's the feedback that I've gotten, that generally compared to some of the other channels, I address a lot of the comments, as many of them as I can. But even on a channel, it's not like it's a massive channel, 25,000 subscribers or 50,000 subscribers, right? That's why I am able to read a good amount. But even a live that has 10 active people, I'm not going to see every comment because the 10 people are all actively commenting. And then there's people that pop in and out. There's algorithmers that pop in. Sometimes there might be troll comments. And I'm not going to see everyone's comments. Why do I think it's necessary for me to say that? Because I've experienced before where a bunch of comments are going through, reading as many of the comments as I can. Somebody hits me up, either in the comment section they'll say it, or they'll hit me up later and be like, thanks for ignoring me. I don't do that. I don't ignore anybody. At the most, sometimes there might be a side topic going on, which is fine. I mean, I understand that once you build a community, people start getting to know each other, and maybe you're going to catch up. Maybe the only time that you communicate is underneath my live. Thank you. I look expensive. That's the first time I ever heard that one before. I look expensive. Is that a compliment? Give me some money? I have to get some money first. Okay. Let me stop getting sidetracked with these comments. Yeah, okay. YouTube terms and conditions management. Yeah, so I allow for people to have their side conversations, but I'm not going to read all of those, and some things slip through the cracks. Know that I do my best to address as many comments as I can. Okay, what was something else that I wanted to say? All right. This is one of my biggest pet peeves when yeah, you're gone too. This is one of my biggest pet peeves when I'm talking about when we're debating about TV shows. People are sometimes hardcore stans. I was trying to figure out a nice way to say that, but there's no nice way. Sometimes people are hardcore stans of certain castmates on certain shows. So, what that means is basically that they only come on there to talk about their hero that they worship on the show. Everything that this person does is right. They can't do any wrong. They're not here to talk about the whole cast, the gameplay of the cast. They're not here to appreciate the whole show as a whole. It's just they're there for that one person. And that's fine. That's not the type of person that I spend a lot of time debating with, because I know they're just one-track minded. But it's fine. I will leave somebody like that within my comment section. However, I'm not necessarily going to address everything they say, because I know that whatever they're saying is extremely biased. So sometimes I just don't feel like it's worth spending that much time on. But I hate when people come into my page and they're like, oh, Mark doesn't like when people have different opinions. I've had people that were on my channel that are not on my channel now that go around saying, well, Mark got rid of me because I liked Monty. Mark got rid of me because I liked this person. This season it's Keanu, who I kind of warmed up to Keanu even though he's about to go. Mark doesn't want me on his channel because I don't follow the herd. If you know anything about me, which I guess you might not necessarily from just being on my YouTube, I've never been a follow the herd person. And in fact, I remember my high school principal telling me, Mark, you are a rebel. You march by the beat of your own drummer. And I used to be like, what makes me a rebel? I don't consider myself a rebel, but I go against the grain. That's kind of me, but it's not like I go against the grain because everybody else is going this way, so that's why I'm going the other way. I'm always going to question, why are people going this way? And think about, what reasons I have for going this way or not going this way. So, no, I have never gotten rid of somebody off of my channel because of a Big Brother opinion. Third, sometimes I'm answering a whole bunch of questions at once. I'm just reading through the comments. This person says this one says this one says this. Even if you happen to be somebody who I communicate with outside of my YouTube lives, still, when I'm on my YouTube live, it's not a me and you conversation. It's a me, you, and whoever else is on their conversation, meaning that I'm responding to multiple different people at the same time. And that means that your comment might come in the middle of 6 people's comments. And then I've had people reach out to me later and be like, bro, that was disrespectful. Why did you talk to me like that? Why did you answer me like that? And honestly, like, when I'm addressing a group is way different than I'm addressing somebody in a one-on-one. Because I'm not looking at it like I'm talking to this specific person. It's like I'm just responding. YouTube is the show. YouTube is a show. And people are watching the show. It's not really as much like when I read your individual comment. Even though I'm reading your individual comment, I can see your name. I do personalize it to a degree to people that I know who are like regular supporters, but it's still a group, and I'm one person addressing a group of people at the same time. So there's a third thing that people might not know about me, is that I'm very sarcastic. That's just my personality. And a big pet peeve of mine is when people call me angry when I'm just being myself. Um, like if I'm going into in the comment section and somebody is saying something about gameplay and I am thoroughly disagreeing with what they're saying, that doesn't mean I'm angry. You don't have to be angry to have a different opinion than somebody else. You could just flat out have another opinion. They have their opinion, you have your opinion. You might express your strong opinion one way, I might express my strong opinion another way. But I know when I set out to disrespect somebody, and I don't do that on my YouTube channel. Now, in my personal life, oh, that might be a different story. But why would I disrespect my subscribers? Okay, another thing. If you pop in here and you say hi to me, right? Especially if you're somebody who comes on here on a regular basis. If you pop in and you tell me hi, and you see that I didn't read when you said hi, think about this. If you jump onto my channel, when you jump into the channel, I'm in the middle of a review, a recap, or some kind of an interaction or engagement or a conversation already. And you just jump in and you say hi. And then I'm continuing with the conversation, whatever the case. And if that happens and you feel like I missed you, drop another hi in the comments, or maybe make it a sentence. Hey, Mark, I said hi earlier. You might have missed it. I jumped on here. How are you doing? Whatever. You can miss a comment. You know that. It's possible to miss somebody's comment. So don't be afraid to drop another comment in here. Secondly, I don't know why I said secondly, but YouTube can glitch. And my YouTube glitches a lot. I don't know if somebody else has a special phone. Cotton zip hoodies. But my phone glitches. And the glitches could be the ring of death that people talk about, or whatever you call it, the looping, where it just loops. This has happened plenty of times before. Or it could be where it's not showing me your comment. Like, don't assume the worst, please. I laugh when people get mad when I like or dislike a person on a reality show. None of us know these people for real. I know, right? And they get so angry. See, this is another thing, right? I told someone this yesterday who's no longer on this channel by my choice. You can like one person from this show. I can dislike the person from that show, and vice versa. And it ain't a thing. I'm still gonna put on my pants one leg at a time. I'm still gonna get up and go to work on Monday morning. Like, nothing is gonna change about my life based on who wins the prize money. Like, it's just like when I watch sports. If I'm watching two teams go against each other and I really love one team and I really hate the other team, if the team that I hate wins the championship at the end, yeah, I'm gonna be mad for a few days. You know, I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm probably not gonna watch Sports Center because I'm not gonna want to see all the celebrations and the interviews. But ultimately, my life is still gonna be my life, and that's it. Like I said, I don't like when people tell me that, oh, he doesn't like me because I like this certain person on the show and he doesn't like that person. No, it just means you're a fan of this person. I'm not a fan of this person. I don't have a zip hoodie on my shoulder. What are you talking about? It's a tank top. I was just at the gym. This is my smoothie. I do this every Saturday. Good morning, Chocolate. Good morning, Daniel. Okay, who did I miss? Monica, even though I read your comment already. Mr. Raj put Kara, Aranda, Lucas, no, I'm not on Twitch. Monica, I feel like you've been here. I feel like you've been here a little bit. I don't know if you came this season or before this season. All right, Daniel, I gave you a few chances. Now you're just saying dumb stuff. So now you're gone. Let's see, did I miss anything? I think I got the majority of what I wanted to say, but maybe the last one or two things that I'm going to say is I rather like having a YouTube page. You know, obviously this is my 4th season of Big Brother doing this. And maybe unlike some of the bigger channels, I will transparently say, at best, probably if you add up everything that I have earned versus everything that I have spent on this page, I might have broken even or slightly above that, but this has never paid a bill for me. So really, it's just a hobby that I enjoy doing, and I've continued to do because I enjoy doing it. And when I've always said, the day that I don't find enjoyment in doing this, I won't do it anymore. That's it. That day hasn't come yet, but there have come days that have pushed me to those limits where I think to myself, if I turn this thing off, yeah, you know, it's like a fun community that I've had for the last few years, and I wouldn't like to do that, but I also don't want to leave my stressful environments that I face at work and in life and log on to another one. So I can only ask, oh, you've been here for a while? You've been here since the other channel? Monica. I thought so. I wasn't 100% sure. But yeah, so I can only ask, just please help me keep that environment that I like, that environment that I enjoy coming to. I will do my best to also do the same for y'all. Please don't assume the worst if something happens that is out of the ordinary. I am probably one of the most accessible vloggers out there. I give you my email address. I have several of you on Facebook, Instagram. Some of you have my phone number, my personal phone number. So it's like, it's not, you could find in my About Me section, if you want to shoot me an email, hey, I like this, I didn't like this. I'm very easy to find. Too easy, in fact. I wish that I was able to make my online presence a little bit less easy to just locate me like that. But regardless, we're here. There's nothing I can do about it now. I'm very easy to find, very easy to talk to. Have a conversation with me. Hey, Mark, I felt this way about this. Chances are it's not what you thought it was. And on the odd, small, slim chance that it is, I will look at it and be like, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't see it this way. I've done that before. But I'll tell you, 80-90% of it, especially when it comes to being on this page, is just communication issues and misunderstandings. And then there's also a thing of when you do that publicly. I feel the same way about YouTube or online group forums, group platforms and stuff as I do in my life outside of this. If I'm standing with a group of people, let's say, or if you're standing with a group of people and somebody has some kind of gripe with you and walk up to you and say, hey, I want to talk to you about when you did this, and I didn't like that. How are you going to feel when they come and address you like that in front of the group? Now, you're on defense because you're like, this wasn't a group issue, but then you brought it up in front of this group. Why? And next thing you know, you could be going back and forth over just that defense mechanism that the person has, over questioning what reason you have to do this in these group settings when they can access you personally or privately. So I hope you get the point that I'm trying to draw, because I'm making it very clear. You can talk to me. I'm available. You could like something. In fact, you could dislike something, and it's possible that it could be a legitimate thing. It's possible that it could not. It could be legitimate to you, but there could be some kind of explanation behind it, or maybe a way that you weren't thinking. But I think discussion with that person is always better than jumping to the conclusion instantly and then bringing your conclusion to them rather than an open mind to figure out, because that's really how I operate. Even if something looks a certain way to me, before I have my end thoughts about it, like, this is how I feel in the end, I'm going to go to the person and ask them. I just had something like that happen to me recently, where somebody came to me with some information, blah, 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 telephone. And then I was like, you know what? I could just take this person's word for this thing, or I can ask the source, see what happened. Not to say that I didn't feel any way. I did kind of feel a way, because I was like, this looks a certain way. But when I asked the person, I got reassurance directly that it was not what I thought it would have been. And, we actually had a good conversation around it, because there's some new things that we both discovered within that conversation, and that probably improved our friendship. So anyways, that's all I got to say. I appreciate you for listening. I hope that you have taken this for what it is. There will be no changes to how I operate my page. Once in a while, when things pile up for me, I'm like, let me throw it in one vlog, address all of it at one time. And you can comment on this. You can tell me what you think. You could reach out. I have some other things to do for the day, and as things progress with Big Brother, I will be jumping back on. My next live will be about Big Brother. And if you've listened this far, that's why I rock with you. So please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. A lot of people, let me read this comment first. A lot of people don't know how to communicate with respect anymore. And that's all. That's all I require. That's it. I don't require compliance. I don't require unanimous agreement. I would be foolish to even expect that if I jump on YouTube and anyone can actually just pop on my YouTube and come talk to me and chat in the chat, I would be foolish to actually think that I'm just going to say things and everybody is going to agree. But I will say something, right? This is just a natural thing. If you follow somebody's channel and you listen to them on a regular basis, it means that probably a lot of the things that they say resonate with you. And that doesn't mean that I'm sitting here, you thought one thing, and then I influenced you to think something else. What I'm trying to say is, I think that a lot of people that have joined my channel are just kind of like-minded people. So when people who are not like-minded pop on the channel, they say something that the majority aren't agreeing with, then they get into this, oh, I'm being bullied or I'm being attacked. Bullying is not just because several people don't agree with your opinion. I don't allow bullies on my channel because my thing is like a bully is somebody to me who like isolates somebody intentionally or tries to make them feel left out or attacks them for having the opinions, not just stating that they have a different opinion, but actually attacks them or attacks their character or whatever the case, you know, because they have a different opinion and says you are weird or you're supposed to think like everybody else. You know, if that happens, I'm like, don't be a bully. I've done it before. I've blocked somebody before who had similar opinions as me about the TV show, because of the way that they have expressed it to others. So yeah, for me it's not about who you like, who you don't like, which alliance you think is the best, which person you think you want to win. If I like someone and you don't like them, it's not about any of that. It's just about be respectful in the way you say things. It is definitely the most overused word. Like bully, everything is bullying. Everything is bullying. Yeah, but thanks, Monica, for your input. Thanks to everyone who listened. And like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notified when I drop some more great content. Thank you all. I'll talk to you later today.